Hello and welcome to Opera on Tap, Philadelphia's Salute to Earth Day. My name is Audra Casebier and I am so excited you joined us for this very special program, honoring this delicate planet we call home. There is so much poetry and music inspired by Earth that we wanted to make sure there was a whole variety of musical styles and interpretations. Tonight's concert has 14 performers and music spanning over 300 years, and possibly some fun facts about the planet Earth. It goes without saying how much Mother Earth has inspired us, along with the composers and poets that provided us with their artistic gifts. We look forward to sharing them with you. Our pianist is Gabriel Ribola, and if you would like to show your appreciation to any of tonight's performers, you may do so directly during intermission when their Venmo handles are displayed. Thank you for your continued support, and please enjoy the show. We begin this evening's show by welcoming countertenor Wei-An Chan to our roster. Wei-An will be singing Ombra Mai Fu from Handel's Xerxes. King Xerxes is admiring his plane tree and the cooling shade it provides against the Persian sun. Plane trees can live for several hundred years and can grow anywhere from 35 to 50 meters. Enjoy! The moon has a beautiful face, and it's the only face that we Earth dwellers see. The moon and its companion, night, are responsible for so much renewal, all the while providing beauty and, for some beings, survival. Soprano Marcel McGurk is offering George Crumb's 3 early songs tonight. The first song, titled Night, is set to Robert Southey's poem, How Beautiful is Night, and it describes the beauty that accompanies a night clear of mist or clouds.
How beautiful is night, all dewy freshness fills the silent air. No mist obscures, nor cloud, nor speck, nor stain breaks the serene of heaven. In full glory, yonder moon divine rolls through the dark blue depths. Beneath her steady ray, the desert circle spreads. Like the round ocean, girdled with the sky. How beautiful is night.
The origin of April comes from the verb aperire, or to open. It is often believed that this month was named that due to the opening of flower blossoms and tree buds. Let's enjoy Balena Canto tell us a little more about it with Tosti's Aprile.
Non senti tu nell'aria il profumo dei spande primavera, non senti tu nell'anima il suon di nuova voce lusinghiera, non senti tu nell'aria il profumo dei spandi primavera, non senti tu nell'anima il suon di nuova voce lusinghiera. L'aprile è la stagion d'amore. Te vieni, o mia gentile, sopra ti infiori. All'aprile, all'aprile, all'aprile. il pietra rafframmabile, avrai sul petto rose celestine, le farfalle candide palleggeranno intorno alla nero crine. Il pietra rafframmabile, avrai sul petto rose celestine, le farfalle candide palleggeranno intorno al nero crine. L'aprile, la stagion d'amore, te vieni, o mia gentil, sul prati in fiore. L'aprile, l'aprile,
The Apple Orchard by Lori Laitman and text by Dana Joya tells the story of two people falling in love behind a farm in an apple orchard. I can totally see how that would be romantic. Walking through an orchard with flower petals falling delicately from the trees, the smell of a new spring, and not to mention that apples are also a part of the rose family. But without any further ado, tenor Sam Keeler can tell us a bit more about this beautifully romantic scene.
You won't remember it. The apple orchard we wandered through one April afternoon, climbing the hill behind the empty farm. A city boy, I'd never seen a grove bursting for flower, or breathe the bittersweet perfume of blossoms mingled with the dust. A quarter mile of trees and fragrant rose arching above us, we walked the aisle alone in spring's ephemeral cathedral. We had the luck, if you can call it that, of having been in love but never lovers. The bright flame burning, fed by pure desire, nothing consumed, such secrets brought to light. There was a moment when I stood behind you, reached out to spin you toward me, but I stopped. What more could I have wanted from that day? Everything, of course. Perhaps that was the point, to learn that what we will not grant is lost.
Cherry blossoms are another symbol that signify the arrival of spring. Some fun facts about cherry trees. They only live between 16 and 20 years. The petals are edible, and if you break off a flower bud in Washington, D.C., you could be arrested for vandalism of federal property. The more you know. Our next performer, baritone Andrew Shaw, shares with us George Butterworth's setting of A.E. Housman's poem, Loveliest of Trees. The poem describes the joy the speaker takes from seeing the blooming cherry blossoms, all the while acknowledging the unavoidable truth of human existence.
Loveliest of trees, the cherry now is hung with bloom along the bough, and stands about the woodland right, wearing white for Easter tide. Now of my 80 years and 10, 20 will not come again, and take from 70 springs a score. It only leaves me 50 more. But since to look at things in bloom, 50 springs have little room. About the woodlands I will go to see the cherry hung with snow.
Water lilies are considered the stars of the art world. The Impressionist painter Monet featured them in over 250 of his paintings. Water lilies provide important shade to their aquatic ecosystems so as to keep the water cool and prevent too much algae from growing. These elusive flowers were also used by poet Felix Ludwig Dahn to describe the enchanting beauty of our speaker's love. Singing Strauss's Wasserrose, please welcome soprano Alexandra Gilliam.
Kennst du die Blume, die märchenhafte, sagengefeierte Wasserrose? Sie weht auf ätherischen schlanken Schafte, das durchzieht Gehaupt, das farbenlose. Sie blüht auf schilfigen Teich im Haine, gehütet vom Schwan, der umkreiset sie einsam. Sie erschließt sich nur dem Mondenscheine, das die mir dir Sinn spricht, ist wie silbernes Wogenrauschen. Wenn sie schweigt, ist die ahnende Stille der Mondnacht. Sie scheint mit dem Sternenblicke zu tauschen, deren Sprache die gleiche Natur sie gewohnt macht. Du kannst nie ermüden. Ich sag ihr so schon, dass die seitenlange Wimper umsäumt hat, und du glaubst, wie bezaubert vom seligen Grauen, was je die Romantik von Elfen geträumt hat.
With oceans covering 70% of the Earth's surface, it contains more historical artifacts than all of the museums in the world combined. With nearly 1,000 shipwrecks just off of the Florida Keys alone, many underwater museums have been created in order to protect the habitats and treasures alike. Please join me in welcoming baritone Zachary Angus to the Philadelphia roster as he sings A Pescator from La Gioconda.
Pescator affonda l'esca, a te l'onda sia fedel, lieto serre buona l'esca. La canzon ve lo dicea, un pescator che attende la marea, la barca laggiù nell'acqua bassa, e tempora domani e si digiuna per mia fortuna la mensa magra, il pescator ingrassa. Siam salvi, han riso, sono 80 fra marina e bozzi, han 13 di remi e nulla più, 2 colobrine di piccolo calibro. Or va con quanta lena ti resta e dispone le svolte con la dove le macchie son più folte. O io vi rimango a fa l'ufficio mio, vanne con Dio. Pescator affonda l'esca, a te l'onda sia fedel, lieto serre buona pesca, ti promette il mare e il ciel. Va tranquilla, cantilena, per l'azzurra immensità. Nella rete cascherà. Spia col fulmine i tuoi sguardi accorti, e tra le tenebre contro i tuoi morti, sì, da quest'isola deserta e bruna, ed è resurgere la tua fortuna. Sta in guardia e il ravido sospetto svia, e ridi e vigila e conta e spia e canta e spia, ridi, canta. cascherà, 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 nella rete, cascherà, la sirena nella rete, cascherà, nella rete, cascherà, 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 se cascherà.
Let It Be Forgotten by Sarah Teasdale is the second poem of the George Crumb set in his 3 early songs. It explains that there are some things or some people that once brought about joy must be forgotten in order to move on with life. Using imagery of flowers and fire withering and dying out, please welcome back Marcel McGurk.
Let it be forgotten as a flower is forgotten, forgotten as a fire that once was burning gold. Let it be forgotten forever and ever. Time is a kind friend. He will make us old. If anyone asks, say it was forgotten long and long ago, long and long ago. As a flower, as a fire, as a hushed footfall in a long forgotten snow.
While birds may provide us with lovely songs to listen to in the spring and summer, they also play a key role in many ecosystems. Many birds are pollinating, seed spreading, pest controlling badasses that are unfortunately threatened by climate change, deforestation, and invasive species. There are approximately 10,000 living species of birds on the planet today, with an estimated 1,200 considered to be under threat of extinction. Singing about our fine feathered friends, please welcome soprano Brenna Markey singing Stridono lassù from I Pagliacci.
Qual fiamma aveva nel guardo, gli occhi abbassai per tema che leggesse il mio pensiero. baciati amor, avol come fratelli angel, disvelano i nomi, il sole lucente, e vanno per le vie del ciel. Lasciateli vagar per l'atmosfera, questi vostri tratti d'azzurro e di splendor, seguono anch'essi un sol luna che mira, e vanno fra i nubi d'or, che in così il vento, l'altro in la tempesta, ogni alberti son tutti a svedor, la pioggia in lampi, la mai la resta, e vanno sono i veli verso un paese strano, seguono forse che cercano il mal, ma i poveri del cielo seguono l'arcano poter che li sospinge, e van, e van, e van, e van.
Hope that you have enjoyed the first half. We'll see you back here after a brief intermission. Forest bathing is the practice of taking in with all of one's senses the forest atmosphere. Not simply a walk in the woods, it is the conscious and contemplative practice of being immersed in the sights, sounds, and smells of the forest. It is a practice that originated in Japan in the 1980s and was useful in that it offered an eco-friendly way to counter technology burnout as well as to inspire residents to reconnect with and protect their country's forests. In my opinion, Charles Ives composed the perfect piece to represent this practice. Please enjoy soprano Alexandra Gilliam singing Feldeinsamkeit.
Ich ruhe still im hohen grünen Gras und sende lange meinen Blick nach oben von Grillen rings und schwirrt Unterlass von Himmelsbläue wundersam Die schönen weißen Wolken ziehen dahin ins tiefe Blau, wie schöne stille Träume, schöne stille Träume, schöne stille Träume. Mir ist, als ob ich längst gestorben bin. Mir ist, als ob ich längst gestorben bin. Und selig mich durch ewige Räume. Selig mich durch ewige Räume. Ich ruhe still im hohen grünen Gras und sende lange meinen Blick nach
Very few things are as peaceful as a completely silent afternoon outside, whether it be in a park, forest, field, or just your backyard. These silent moments let us take pause and appreciate the moment itself. In the poem Silent Noon, written by Dante Gabriel Rossetti, the speaker takes the time to do just that. Please enjoy Rafe Vaughan Williams' setting of Silent Noon, sung by mezzo-soprano Bonnie Cutsforth-Huber.
Your hands lie open in the long, fresh grass. The finger points look through like rosy blooms. Your eyes smile peace. The pasture gleams and blooms neath billowing skies that scatter and amass. grass, a golden king-cup fields with silver edge, where the cow parsley skirts the hawthorn hedge. 'Tis visible silence, still as the hourglass. Deep in the sun-searched growths, the dragonfly hangs like a blue thread loosened from the sky. So this winged hour is dropped to us from above. Oh, clasp we to our hearts, for death is dour, this close companion in our tribulate hour, when twofold silence was the the song of
If you're having a rough day and need a pine tree to rest against, there are 120 species of pines worldwide. From what I hear, they're a fairly empathetic species. Singing Defia's Asturiana, please welcome back Balena Canto. If you're lucky enough to have a garden to tend to this spring, then you know it's time for a literal spring cleaning in preparation for this year's blooms. Gardens are a fantastic place for getting your hands dirty, allowing for growth and entertainment. If you aren't lucky enough to have a garden of your own to tend to, I highly recommend seeking out one of the many gardens managed by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society. Their gardens are located all over the city, from Manayunk to Penn's Landing. And if you don't have a garden in your community, you can also contact them for more information on how you can help unite your community through gardening. Please enjoy Sarah Baumgarten singing "Come to My Garden" from The Secret Garden.
Clusters of crocus, purple and gold, blankets of pansies out from the cold, lilies and iris, safe from the chill, safe in my garden, snowdrops so still. Come to my garden, nestled in the hill. There I'll keep you safe beside me. Come to my garden, rest there in my arms. There I'll see you safely grown, and on your way, stay there in my garden, where love grows free and wild. Come to my garden, come, sweet child. 'Come to my garden, rest there in my arms. There I'll see you safely grown, and on your way I shall see you in my garden, where love grows free and wild. Come to my garden, come, sweet dear.
31% of the earth is forest, and some of the forests that grow the tallest trees are native to the United States. You have the coastal redwoods, giant sequoias, and Douglas firs, to name a few. Many of the world's tallest trees, however, are in Southeast Asia and Australia. Not only do trees provide the oxygen we breathe, they also provide us with food and are massive ecosystems for wildlife. If you'd like to know more about how you can help plant more trees in your community or help protect the reforestation of the Amazon, the largest forest and most volatile in the world, look up your local horticultural society or check out the Rainforest Action Network at ran.org. Please welcome back Andrew Shaw as he sings Benjamin Britten's arrangement of The Trees, They Grow So High.
The trees, they grow so high, and the leaves, they do grow green. And many a cold winter's night my love and I have seen. On a cold winter's night, my love, you and I alone have been. Whilst my bonny boy is young, he is a-growing. Growing, growing, whilst my bonny boy is young, he's a-growing. Oh, father, dearest father, you done to me great wrong. You tied me to a boy when you know he's too young. Oh, daughter, dearest daughter, if you wait a little while, a lady you shall be while he's growing. Growing, growing, a lady you shall be while he's growing. I'll send your love to college all for a year or two, and then in the meantime he will do for you. I'll buy him white ribbons, tie them round his bonny waist, to let the ladies know that he's married. Married, married, to let the ladies know that he's married. I went up to the college and I looked over the wall, saw 24 gentlemen playing at bat and ball. I called for my true love, but they would not let him come, all because he was a young boy and growing. Growing, growing, all because he was a young boy and growing. At the age of 16 he was a married man, and at the age of 17 he was father to a son. And at the age of 18 the grass grew over him. Cruel death soon put an end to his growing. Growing, growing, cruel death to put an end to his growing. And now my love is dead, and in his grave doth lie. The green grass grows o'er him so very, very high. I'll sit and I'll mourn his fate until the day I die, and I'll watch all o'er his child while he's growing. Growing, growing, and I'll watch all o'er his child while he's growing.
Flowers just aren't ornamental plants, they also play a huge role in nature. They can feed insects, birds, animals, and humans, provide natural medicines for humans and some animals, and aid in a plant's reproduction by enticing outside pollinators. Without flowers, plants would merely be green and the world would be a slightly duller place. Singing about the beauty of flowers, please enjoy soprano Elizabeth Oliver and mezzo-soprano Amanda Staub singing the Flower Duet from Loch May. Did you know that violets were the proclaimed favorite flower of Napoleon Bonaparte? In fact, he was called Corporal Violet by friends after promising them he would return from his exile on Elba before violet season. Bonaparte's supporters even used violets to determine if someone was loyal to him by asking them if they liked the flowers. Only a response of "Eh bien" proved loyalty, according to the American Violet Society. Who knew? Welcoming to the Opera on Tap Philly roster, please enjoy soprano Rachel Long singing Son pochi fior from L'Amico Fritz by Mascagni.
Son pochi fiori, povere viole, sull'orito d'aprile, dal profumo gentile, ed è per voi che le ho rapite al sole. Se avessimo parole, le udreste mormorar. Noi siamo figlie delle pureche di primavera, siamo le vostre amiche, moremo questa sera e saremo felici di dire a voi che amate gli infelici, il cielo vi possa dar tutto quello che si può sperar, ed il mio cor aggiunge una parola modesta ma sincera: eterna primavera, la vostra vita sia che altri consola. Devogliate grani quanto vi posso offrir.
For our next introduction, I have a riddle for you. You can often see my effects, although I am not ever seen. I come after cross, whirl, and wood, and come before sock, mill, and screen. The answer, of course, is wind. Welcoming back Marcel McGurk, please enjoy the final song of George Crumb's 3 early songs, Wind Elegy.
Only the wind knows is gone, only the wind grieves, the sunshine Acres awake, Father Yetams. But he's asleep. It's sad.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We hope that tonight's concert honoring Mother Earth has inspired you to find some way to appreciate all that she has to offer. And not just what she has to offer to us human folks, but to all living creatures and organisms that we share this planet with. Whether it's planting a tree, a garden, holding large corporations accountable, or just picking litter off the street in your neighborhood, there is no end to the small changes we all can make in order to improve the health of our planet. As of right now, it's the only one we've got, so why not take care of it in order to preserve all that it has to offer for generations to come? Ending our program is the lovely Kristen Swenson singing "The Hills Are Alive." Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next month. Have a great night.
My day on the hill has come to an end, I know. A star has come out to tell me it's time to go. But deep in the dark green shadows are voices that urge me to stay. So I pause and I wait and I listen for one more sound, for one more lovely thing that the hills might say. The hills are alive with the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years. The hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears. My heart wants to beat like the wings of the birds that fly from the lake to the trees. My heart wants to sigh like the chime that flies from the church on a breeze, to laugh like a brook when it drips and falls over stones on its way, to sing through the night like a lark who